Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Safe T Systems. The temperature is getting warmer. That means you want to be outside. When you're outside, you'd like to have some entertainment out there with TV, surround sound, stereo. Imagine that on your deck, your porch, your patio this summer. You can get all that if you call J.J. Surlis and the team at Safe T Systems. Safe T Systems right there is the website to check out. You see how they spell it. All right, it's just Safe T and then Systems. They do tremendous work in terms of putting a stereo outside, putting television outside. Make your man cave what would you call that? Wouldn't be a cave. It'd be the opposite of a cave. It'd be a man wide open space. How about that? Safety Systems, give them a call. All right. Rick Barnes had low expectations last year, and he used that to motivate his team, or they were self-motivated. He doesn't strike me as the type that would sit there and give them play a lot of bulletin board games with them. But certainly they noticed that they were picked 13th out of 14th in the SEC. Next year is going to be different, though. CBS Sports put the Vols at number 4 in the country. They're now number 4 in Gary Parrish CBS Sports poll. Kansas, Duke, Villanova, and Tennessee, with Kentucky behind Tennessee. That's something you don't see every day. ESPN has the Vols 8th in their way too early top 25 for next year. Kentucky's 4th, Auburn's 5th, but they may drop Auburn now that one of their guys has gone pro. I haven't seen I don't know if they've updated their top 25. Either way, you're popping up, Tennessee's popping up in top 10s, top 5s, top 4s. Good or bad?
I'm going to say bad, and I'll tell you why. Go back through the years, and how many times has Tennessee in just about any sport handled high expectations well? And you're not going to find – there's a better chance next season will be a disappointment that it'll match these expectations to me. And it's another reason why I think they canceled the Rocky Top League. They're getting away from some of these other things and trying to be more focused. And it's a lot different when you go in as the favorite than when you're the underdog. It really is. So I think it's bad.
I think it can be bad. It's a challenge for sure, a big challenge for this team. And I think you've got to look at it as this is making it a tougher thing for this team to live up to expectations, and it's a flawed team still. I think it's still a team that has some limitations somewhat. When you compare to those teams up there in the top 5 with them, this is a team that needs to do everything right to be that good, and that makes it harder to live up to expectations. So, yeah, I think it adds to the mental game you've got to play in the offseason and makes it harder.
That's a great point. Kansas, Duke, Villanova, you pencil them into the Final 8 every year, and they're always there in the Final 8. Half of them get the Final 4 every year. Tennessee, you need to play it the right way. I think that's a great point. And you expect guys to be better next year, the older year better? I don't know. We'll see what they do with an influx of talent. They got 2 slots open. We'll talk about that later. Guys, is this a good thing or a bad thing that now you've got higher expectations to deal with?
What did Tennessee lose last year, 9? When it was all said and done?
When it was all said and done, 9.
They lost 9 games last year, all said and done. With expectations
that wouldn't
this
be top
high,
5.
9 losses next year is now we've gone and have the exact same season, but lose the exact same number of games, and people are disappointed. So that's where I think the high expectations will probably have a bigger impact on the fans and the way they watch than the actual team.
Yeah, at the beginning of this season, Tennessee was able to go in with little talk other than, hey, Tennessee has a really good chance to beat the very low expectations, but was Purdue really paying attention to Tennessee early in the season? Was Villanova early in that game? At the start of SEC play even, were teams really paying attention to Tennessee? This was a year where Tennessee was catching up to teams. Now teams are going to try to catch up to Tennessee. Now late in the season, when Tennessee was winning games, Tennessee handled, I thought, that pretty well overall. So that's a good sign, but bigger picture next year, there are going to be much higher expectations.
I think it's a great thing in terms of the overall program brand. I mean, you talk about helping recruiting and everything else, fantastic. The more top 10 ratings you can get, the better. The downside is simply the expectation is going to be up here, and I don't think, again, to be in the top 5, you're talking about a 5-loss basketball team. I don't think they're there. However, it's such a tournament sport. That's going to lead to more gripes throughout the regular season. There'll be more of that roller coaster, more people upset after every loss. But it's a tournament sport. If they wind up having a good tournament run, all that doesn't matter, in my view.
And here's the one thing you cannot afford to do is the Tennessee basketball team. You cannot forget how hard you had to work away from the court to get to where you were. You earned the right to be a good basketball team that could accomplish great things. You can't get away from that. And there was the 6-minute mile is a classic example. Having to run a 6-minute mile when everybody else is doing the NCAA tournament.
Very quick.
Just to your point about now that this helps the brand, if you're in the top 5 during the postseason, preseason, whatever, you're in every conversation about college basketball from now until next November. So that really does help you by just keeping your name out there and floating around, not playing anything.
Okay. When we come back, ESPN this week looked at strength of schedule for all the teams in the country. They did their FPI computer formula, which I still don't buy into. And they projected wins for the year. Basically, they're saying Tennessee won't reach a bowl game even though they've got one of the easiest schedules in the league. Are they right? We'll discuss. Come back.